It's Wednesday the 28th, January 2015. My name's Eric Bates. This is
Anton, Airbrushed, Bystedt.
Anton, Airbrushed. What was it?
Bystedt.
You have to write that down. Okay, so let's start from the very beginning then, man. Where were you? Where were you born? Where did you grow up?
I grew up in Västerås, Sweden. It's a quite small place, not that far from Stockholm.
Okay, is it like south, east, west, north?
It's west from Stockholm.
Okay. What happened there? What was your family like growing up?
I had a normal family, pretty normal life. I like to play games. That was pretty much my childhood. I played Halo from I was 6 years old.
Yeah.
Played World of Warcraft, League of Legends, poker a lot, and now Hearthstone.
Yeah. Dude, Halo was my game, man. That was like what got me into esports. I played against my brother all the time. Like, we would just play, we made our own SWAT sort of game, right? So like no armor. It was like one shot with the battle rifle and you're dead. And oh man, I just wanted to beat him so bad.
Yeah, I played so much Halo 3. I remember me and my brother, we played in a team. We took 50 MLG, and
Nice.
we were going to an event, but we never went because our mother wouldn't let us go. So
Been there, man. Been there.
yeah,
So what's your family like then? What's the structure? I assume mom, dad,
yeah, mom, dad, and my brother, my twin brother actually.
and your twin brother. Okay, so you're twins. What's your brother like?
He's he doesn't have any social filters. It's really fun to hang out with.
Yeah, kind of a little bit of chaos, right? Why not?
Yeah, but it's nice. He's not a mean person.
Yeah.
And he also plays Hearthstone and Magic like I do. So
Yeah.
I always have someone to play with.
Yeah. Was there like a huge competitive sort of nature to you and your brother, or was it?
Oh my god, when we were kids, we would actually beat up each other.
Oh.
One in a 1 versus 1 or something.
Yeah.
In the end, we never actually played on the same teams in the end because it would always result in we two fighting.
Yeah, I feel you there. But where did you go to school then?
I went to school here in Västerås as well.
Okay.
I changed schools a lot after high school and college, and I still study now.
Yeah. Did what was like high school like as far as like the community of gaming for you?
Actually, we were a bunch of people who played Halo and WoW in school, so it pretty much started there we had local competitions here in our town. And then also when I was around 13 or 12, I started playing Magic the Gathering. And that Magic is actually really big in our town, even though it's really small. It's around 180,000 people, I think. But we have some of Sweden's best players here. And one of them is Orange.
In Hearthstone or
Yeah.
in Magic? Sorry.
Yeah, he's one of the best in Sweden in Magic, and
Nice.
I got to know him through Magic when I was around 13 or 14.
Yeah. So like with how long did you play Magic the Gathering for? Did you ever get serious into Magic, or was it just kind of like sort of a competitive thing that you'd play against your friends?
I played tournaments, but I only played one format, and that's the format with old cards. It's called Legacy. It's because the decks never really change. You don't have to buy new cards. And I was poor because I was a student. So I thought, yeah, I buy an old deck and play that all the time.
Yeah.
So I actually played that, and I was not terrible, but I was not the best. I was decent.
Yeah. I never played too much Magic. I played against a friend like a couple times, and I've played a few matches of Hearthstone. But I know some people who are like Magic the Pro Tour over in North America. I think that's like held at like Las Vegas, and that's a pretty huge event. So when you think about like Magic in relation to the game that you play, Hearthstone. Where do you think that like? How do you think that helped you in moving into like a pro career in Hearthstone?
Definitely the way you think about how value works, comparing to life. In Magic, having more cards than your opponent basically means you win. You have more cards in your hand, and better board presence. And your life doesn't really matter unless you're really low, like 5 life or something.
Mm-hmm.
The same can apply to Hearthstone. Like it's all about trading efficiently and winning the tempo. But I would say Hearthstone it's not. There's a big difference. I think Hearthstone is a lot more reliant on tempo. That's why I think aggro is the best archetype in Hearthstone, and in Magic I think control is the best archetype.
Okay, so you play decks that have control, right?
In Hearthstone.
In Hearthstone.
I actually don't have an archetype I play a lot. I think that's my biggest strength, that I play all the classes. The only deck I cannot play is Handlock. That's because I haven't really played it.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
I like to play everything. I just like to try new decks and see what works.
Yeah. Are there any pro Hearthstone players that you like to watch stream, that you try and get as much information as possible from, or?
I would say Fortson. He's funny to watch. I like his community because it's quite fun. But he's also one of the inspirations who made me play Miracle Rogue. And in tournaments, that was the deck I had the most success with. And he was the innovator for the new Miracle Rogue styles. The deck lists. Colento made the deck, but Fortson, he opted the Miracle.
Yeah, someone kind of, makes it their own and makes it completely viable, right? And just kind of, what's the word, revises, I guess, and just makes it like, makes it strong.
I would say he broke the deck. That's why.
Yeah. So, is there any decks that you have trouble playing against, or?
Against? Yeah, there's one deck I have a really bad win ratio against in tournaments, and that's Sue. I cannot play versus Sue. The Warlock aggro, but yeah, no one plays it anymore, so I should be fine.
So what happened to the deck then? Where did it go?
I don't know. It's just that other decks are stronger right now than Sue. Yeah. Sure, it's okay on ladder and so, but there's just so much strong decks now with the new cards. So playing Warlock. No, not in tournaments. I think it's just bad.
Yeah. So with the old deck, what were you running into that you feel like was a trouble for you?
You mean what I ran into when I played versus Sue?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was the Flame Imp, the best card in the game. Yeah. It's just that Sue always, no matter what, will play something on turn 1 and on turn 2. That's why I think Sue and the other aggro decks are just better than Control, because you don't need to have the specific cards. You can always play something on your curve, because you have at least 20 creatures, so you can always play something, and most of them cost 1 mana to 3 mana. So that was the most annoying, that Sue was so stable all the time. It always had a start.
Yeah.
And with Control, you needed that one removal, and it's not that big of a chance to have it all the time.
So it seemed like it was like a sort of roll the dice. Do I have this card in this moment? Kind of like that was the only way you felt you could counter it.
Yeah, pretty much. But then I played other decks that's really good against Sue. That's why one of the reasons why I started playing Miracle, because Miracle is generally really good versus aggro.
Yeah.
It has so much removal.
Do you play a lot of like standardized decks, or do you feel like you try and put your own sort of twist into the decks?
I don't know. Actually, that's really dependent. Sure, sometimes I just take a deck that's best. Like now, I have the decks I play right now are the decks I got from you, from Orange, Druid Miracle and stuff like that. But I also have. I try to play decks that aren't played, because people don't know how to counter them. So I still play Shaman in tournaments, but no one plays it. That's why I think Shaman is really, really strong right now. It has all the cards it needs, but people don't expect it.
Yeah. So you just kind of feel like there's a sort of factor of surprise when you're playing a Shaman deck then?
Yeah, definitely. People won't expect you to bring a Shaman to a tournament.
Yeah, and then, I mean, I guess most of them don't even have any practice against a Shaman deck, so it's kind of like you can catch them completely off guard.
Yeah, like when you practice against a Ramp Druid and a Paladin, maybe a Warrior, not versus a Shaman.
Yeah. Would you say that that's a bit of a pocket deck, or do you like in the sense that if it's like a best of 3, you can pull it out to win that third match, or do you think it's something that's viable just consistently throughout a tournament?
I don't think it's consistently viable. You need to have a good matchup, but the thing is, right now in the current state of the meta, the good matchups for Shaman, which are the Paladin, the Druid, and the Handlock, they are all played very much. So right now at this time, I think in a best of 3, I would definitely bring Shaman. Maybe not start with it, but have it as a counter, because it can sweep like 2-0 easily if you have the right matchups.
So what about with Coast and those other teams? How did those teams come about? Did you did you just get invited by a friend, or?
Well, everything started with let's see how it started. It was a chain event, like a snowball effect. I started playing with in my first team with Schismatron, Spo. I think Orange was there for a while, and Powder, and we were just a bunch of Swedish guys who played. After there, I played some tournaments with that name tag, and I met some other players. One of the players was Kakruna, and I decided to lead the Swedish team to approach a new team, and that was Team Wildcard. And in that team, we practiced a lot and played a lot. But then I went to DreamHack Bucharest, and I met Daniel Sitin, Daniel. Yeah, who came second, and we became close friends. And he played a lot with us in Wildcard in that team. And then just one day, when the other guys in Wildcard stopped playing, it was only me and one guy, Kakruna, who played all the time. The other guys were never online. And we played with Daniel all the time. And one day Daniel told us that we should join a new team with him. So we thought, okay, cool, we can join a new team. So we went from Balkan Bears. It didn't work out with the contract. It was rather bad deal. And then we hopped on to Team Coast, because the 3 Canadian players was there, Impact, Luffy, and Twisted. They had played with some of us before. And Daniel had to talk to them about maybe making a team together, having one division for Europe and one division for NA in Team Coast. So they talked to the manager over at Coast, and they said, "Sure, let's make a team." So we played together for a few months, but we never got a contract, so we didn't see a reason to stay there. So that's one of the reasons why I left. I think Hearthstone still has a way to go. It needs a few more years maybe before it can get that big, so you can live on it. It's right now the only people who really make money out of it are streamers.
Yeah.
But that's not why I play it. I play it because I like to play Hearthstone.
Yeah. Just beat them all, man.